Welcome to WBNC. This is Maria Alboroso from World Breaking News Channel. This video analyzes U.S. Representative Jasmine Crockett's comparison of two strongest leaders, Kamala Harris and Donald Trump. Jasmine Crockett stayed true to her reputation at the Democratic National Convention in Chicago, beginning her speech by comparing the resumes of the two leading candidates. Crockett highlighted Donald Trump's history in New York real estate, including allegations of discrimination and the Stormy Daniels scandal, contrasting it with Harris's accomplishments as a prosecutor and politician. She became a career prosecutor, while he became a career criminal, Crockett quipped. She also became emotional as she recalled her first meeting with Harris, describing it as a moment that gave her the drive to push forward in her legislative career. The Democratic National Convention, held in Chicago from August 19 to 22, will culminate with Vice President Kamala Harris formally accepting the party's nomination for the 2024 election on Thursday. Crockett, who represents a district in North Texas, has made headlines for her outspoken support of Harris and previously worked as a public defender and civil rights attorney. The DNC will be held at the United Center, the venue for the 1996 convention where President Bill Clinton was nominated for a second term. The convention's themes include "For the People, a bold vision for America's future, a fight for our freedoms and for our future." Analysis of specific accomplishments Crockett highlighted when comparing Harris's resume to Trump's. In the scenario described, Representative Crockett highlighted Kamala Harris's accomplishments as a prosecutor and politician when comparing her resume to Donald Trump's. While the specific accomplishments were not detailed in the information provided, it is common for political figures to emphasize their professional achievements, such as 1. Career as a prosecutor. Harris's tenure as the District Attorney of San Francisco and later as the Attorney General of California could be emphasized. During these roles, she might have focused on initiatives such as criminal justice reform, consumer protection, and fighting corruption. 2. Political career. Harris's election to the U.S. Senate in 2016 and her subsequent rise to national prominence could be highlighted. Her work on various Senate committees and her advocacy for issues like healthcare, immigration reform, and women's rights might also be noted. 3. Vice presidency. As the vice president, Harris's role in the Biden-Harris administration and any significant legislative achievements or initiatives she has been involved in could be pointed out. In contrast, Crockett mentioned Trump's history in New York real estate, allegations of discrimination, and the Stormy Daniels scandal, which could imply a focus on negative aspects of Trump's career and personal life. It's important to note that political speeches often aim to create a favorable narrative for their candidate while criticizing their opponents. Therefore, the accomplishments highlighted would likely be those that best align with the speakers and the party's messaging goals. Portrayal of Kamala Harris's career compared to Donald Trump's. In the context of the scenario described, Representative Crockett's speech portrays Kamala Harris's career in a positive light, emphasizing her professional achievements and contrasting them with what is presented as the negative aspects of Donald Trump's career. Here's how Crockett's speech might frame the comparison. Kamala Harris's career. 1. Prosecutor and politician. Crockett likely highlights Harris's tenure as a career prosecutor, focusing on her efforts in criminal justice reform, consumer protection, and fighting corruption during her time as the District Attorney of San Francisco and later as the Attorney General of California. 2. Senate career. Crockett might emphasize Harris's work in the U.S. Senate, including her advocacy for healthcare, immigration reform, women's rights, and other key issues. Her rise to national prominence and her role in Senate committees could be noted as significant achievements. 3. Vice presidency. As the vice president, Harris's contributions to the Biden-Harris administration, her involvement in legislative achievements, and her initiatives could be highlighted as further evidence of her successful career in public service. Donald Trump's career. 1. Real estate and business. Crockett contrasts Trump's career by focusing on his history in New York real estate, which could be portrayed as less public-spirited or altruistic compared to Harris's career in law and politics. 2. Allegations and controversies. Crockett mentions allegations of discrimination and the Stormy Daniels scandal, which could be used to cast a shadow over Trump's business and personal conduct, implying ethical or legal shortcomings. Overall portrayal. Crockett's speech likely aims to create a stark contrast between Harris's career, framed as one of public service, legal expertise, and political achievement, and Trump's career, which is portrayed through the lens of business dealings and personal controversies. The speech would seek to elevate Harris's qualifications and experience while critiquing Trump's record, thereby reinforcing the Democratic Party's narrative and supporting Harris's candidacy. What themes are included in the Democratic National Convention's messaging? The Democratic National Convention (DNC) typically includes a range of themes that reflect the party's priorities, values, and policy goals. While the specific themes can vary from one convention to another, they often encompass a broad spectrum of issues important to the party and its supporters. Here are some common themes that might be included in the DNC's messaging. 1. Economic opportunity and jobs, focusing on creating economic opportunities for all Americans, including support for small businesses, workers' rights, and job creation. 2. Healthcare, emphasizing the importance of accessible and affordable healthcare for all, including support for the Affordable Care Act and proposals for further healthcare reforms. 3. Climate change and environmental protection, highlighting the need to address climate change, invest in renewable energy, and protect the environment for future generations. 4. Education, advocating for quality education for all children, including support for public schools, affordable higher education, and student loan reform. 5. Social justice and equality, addressing issues of racial inequality, gender equality, LGBTQ rights, and disability rights, with a focus on creating a more inclusive and equitable society. 6. Immigration reform, promoting humane and comprehensive immigration reform, including a path to citizenship for undocumented immigrants and protection for dreamers. 7. National security and foreign policy, discuss strategies for national security, diplomacy, and international cooperation to address global challenges. 8. Infrastructure and innovation, proposing investments in infrastructure to create jobs and improve transportation, broadband access, and other essential services. 9. Gun control, advocating for common-sense gun safety measures to reduce gun violence and protect communities. 10. Women's rights, supporting reproductive rights, equal pay, and policies that promote gender equality. 11. Voting rights and democracy, emphasizing the importance of protecting and expanding voting rights to ensure a fair and inclusive democratic process. 12. Economic fairness and tax reform, call for tax reforms that promote economic fairness, including higher taxes on the wealthy and corporations to fund social programs and reduce inequality. These themes are often woven into the speeches, platform, and messaging of the DNC to resonate with a broad coalition of voters and to articulate the party's vision for the future of the country.